Getting set for game one of our double dip tonight. The starting lineups are brought to you by Capital One on this Elimination Friday night. And you talk about fighting off the last game of your career. Kendra Falby and Reagan Walsh. Will it be the seniors tonight that get the Gators another game at the Women's College World Series? Over 500 starts, nearly 600 hits, and 400 runs scored in their legendary Gator go-round. And they will match up with Carlin Pickens out there to throw for the second night in a row. That heartbreaking loss on a walk-off home run yesterday. Pickens will look to respond and keep the Lady Vols' hopes alive for an elusive first national championship. And she'll wing it in there to start the day at 75 miles an hour. That's similar speed to what she ended the night with last night.
She's the SEC Pitcher of the Year for a reason. She has the ability to move that ball through the zone. And ladies, she has not lost a back-to-back this year. So you know she's going to be coming out determined to shut this one down.
Sunny evening, 79 degrees at first pitch as Kendra Falby steps in. Yesterday, just the second time all season, she did not reach first base. 3 ground outs to Mia Scott at the hot corner against Texas. And that'll change immediately in a walk for Pickens.
Well, Carlin Pickens typically will attack the zone at multiple levels with great velocity and the ability to mix speed, 75 to 66 miles an hour. Look at the difference of where the pitch shows up. 75 top of the screen, change up bottom of the screen. That is less than 0.4 of a second reaction time. Here's the rise ball, that spin, that rotation in the upper half of the zone. Just such great movement and velocity combined.
Taylor Shoemaker, first pitch swinging and pops it up to left field. Alana Leach is under it. Pretty cool tonight for Tennessee there. The Leach sisters both get the start. One out in left field, and then Gabby is over in right field.
I asked Karen Weekly, why Alana Leach out and left, and she's like, the two corners, the Leach sisters have the best arms in the game because of the speed of Florida. We need that.
Continuing a tradition of Lady Vols in the Leach family. Here's Jocelyn Erickson, junior out of Phoenix. Last year's SEC Player of the Year and an All-American. Numbers off after that fabulous season a year ago, but as you can see, still very dangerous. 15 home runs, 57 RBI, and an OPS north of 1,100. The average around D1 is about 825.
This is a Florida program that has 100 more walks than strikeouts. So this is an interesting setup going up against Pickens, who is a strikeout pitcher, going up against a team that's not afraid to take a walk.
If you watch Jocelyn Erickson, one of the adjustments she wanted to make, she had a really hard front foot stride yesterday, which makes you hard to adjust to velocity. Watch her front foot. She just kind of lifts her heel up.
Big trouble early for Carlin Pickens. Back-to-back walks to open the game. Good news for Tim Walton, the two-time national championship coach, who also won one playing baseball at Oklahoma. And one of 4 programs to win back-to-back. This the 10-year anniversary of the last SEC national championship. And a huddle quickly with Megan Rhodes-Smith, the pitching coach, under Karen Weekly, now in her 24th season. Used to coach with her husband Ralph, and a few years ago went solo. 9th trip to the Women's College World Series. They've played for the title a couple of times. They've reached the national semis a couple of times. 2 storied programs fighting against a 2 and barbecue. Here's Reagan Walsh. Gators had 1 chance yesterday with a runner in scoring position against Tegan Cavan in Texas. They only had 5 base runners yesterday, and 2 already here in the first.
Reagan Walsh is a very pull-heavy hitter, and you can see Ella Dodge, the second baseman for Tennessee, is moved way up the middle, almost behind second.
Yeah, Smitty, of her 21 extra base hits, only one hit to opposite field. I mean, she pulls, especially when you look at the slug numbers. Where does she hit the ball hard? Left to center field.
Chase is out of the zone, and a strikeout for Pickens, one down. Got her with the rise.
And that rise ball at the top of the zone, that's the pitch that Florida's going to have to figure out, see it early, and try to stay off of it. For Pickens, she's getting underneath that pitch, puts herself in a position to work from ahead, so important.
So with 2 outs, here's Otis. Corby had one of the other hits yesterday, was 1 for 3. Does not have a hit yet in the postseason with a runner in scoring position as the Gators threaten here in the first.
Ball.
Two-two pitch.
Oh, Otis just missed that last pitch. 2-2 count. Fouls that straight back. As a pitcher, you know when you see that ball get fouled straight back hard, you know that hitter has just missed that.
Slices that one out of play. Seventh pitch of this at-bat.
Ball.
And the count goes full. That's the voice of John Baca behind home plate. Cam Ellison at first. Susan Eads at second. Chelsea Clark at third.
Pickens can't bring it much lower than that.
Got her. 71 miles an hour with little smoke. So after a couple of walks, a couple of strikeouts as well.
Well, Carlin Pickens showing why she is the SEC Pitcher of the Year for back-to-back years because of that rise ball at the top of the zone. So much movement at over 71 miles an hour. Gets out of the jam. Second strikeout of the inning.
Back here at Devon Park, Tennessee picking up the bats as we check out our starting lineups. Brought to you by Capital One. And Taylor Panel, 3 for 4. Busting her way out of a bit of a slump late in the season. Couple of singles, a double. She scored a run in that narrow loss to the Oklahoma Sooners. So if they get her back going in this lineup, it's a whole different look for Tennessee against Kara Hammock. A bit of a surprise in the circle tonight for the Florida Gators. She'll get the start.
Well, Hammock is going to need to roll a lot of ground balls, and that's what she does. It's just her second start of the postseason. She's got that Gator defense behind her. But one of the keys is, look at that, she's got more walks than she does strikeouts. So really going to have to rely on trying to induce the pop-up or ground ball.
The other 3 primary pitchers for Florida all made an appearance yesterday. So Hammock gets the go. A start against Mercer in the regional. She went 2.5 innings. She had a relief appearance last weekend against Georgia when Florida had to survive an elimination game to advance. Gabby Leach to lead things off. That's a fair ball. way deep down in the corner. Gabby Leach is thinking three and headed that way. And diving in safely with a lead-off triple. Well, they started yesterday with a bang and coming out strong here in the first again tonight.
Yeah, Gabby Leach led off the game, the second pitch of the game with a single. This one, she ones up it. She'll kind of step almost across the plate. That's her way of kind of getting around even the outside pitch. I mean, that's just barely over the bag. And then it pops into that corner. That's a tough corner, by the way. Once the wall ends, now you have a fence. Makes it very difficult for Shoemaker out there.
Florida is challenging the call of a fair ball. This play is under review.
All right, so right out of the gate for the Gators, Tim Walton wasn't sure that that one was fair.
Yeah, and I think you have to challenge this. Lead-off hitter, lead-off potential triple.
Well, if it hit the base, it's definitely fair. It's hard to tell on that bounce whether it got it.
It goes over.
Hard to tell. It bounces right at the bag before, but then it's got to clear the bag, over the bag.
It definitely hit inside the line.
It doesn't hit the bag.
Actually hit it.
So does it get
hit of the chalk, right? You can see the chalk fly.
I think that scoots over the bag.
Yeah, front corner.
Yeah, the chalk flew on it.
Yeah. But I think this is hard to overrule. It looks like it goes over the front corner of that bag.
It's got to cross the bag.
Christy Cornwell is our rules analyst. Christy, what are you seeing?
You know, Beth and Michelle, I agree with what you're saying. It looks like the ball bounces on the chalk, which is in fair territory, and bounds right over the base, and we don't have indisputable video evidence to change that, so I think we should come out of here with a fair ball.
Thank you, Christy.
Yeah, I think seeing that little bit of chalk, which is obviously lined up to the inside part of the bag, kind of gives you that impression.
After further review, the call on the field has been upheld. We have a fair ball. This is Florida's first challenge.
Florida will have another challenge, and also the umpires, as we get late in the game, the last couple of innings, they can choose on their own to review something.
It's a great call to challenge that, though, because, you know, it's fair by maybe an inch. And, you know, you're looking at that, and lead-off triple, you got to challenge it. Good call by Tim.
So here's Taylor Panel, immediately RBI opportunity, and she delivers. RBI single, and just like yesterday in the opener, a run on the board in the first.
And I'll tell you, sometimes with an offense, when you see that the ace of your opponent is not starting, you come out just attacking, and they have done that. 2 pitches, 2 base hits. Panel has been on fire here at the World Series. Takes that first pitch, drives it down the line, brings in Leach.
Big swing and a miss by Ella Dodge. Yeah, I think a lot of us thought it would be back to Keegan Rothrock in the circle, their ace, the starter yesterday. But if you follow Florida through the years, you know that Tim Walton loves using a lot of different arms and really good pitching staffs. He's done it here in the past, and it's helped him win national championships. But Tennessee trying to take advantage. Look at what they've done in the first 3 innings in this postseason.
Look how aggressive they are early in the count. And they're jumping on a pitcher that was not pitched here in Oklahoma City yet. You mentioned all 3 other Gator pitchers got some time yesterday, and so you're trying to, you know she's trying to get ahead. You're jumping on those pitches early.
That's in for a strike from Hammock. Senior out of Mechanicsville, Virginia. Kara transferring in from UNC Wilmington. Was a strikeout pitcher there. And that's a fair ball. Got by Cahalan. Wide turns by both runners, but they'll stand firm. And it's first and second with a third straight hit to start the ball game.
It's exactly where the front foot of Dodge is stepping. She steps towards that 5-6 hole. She hits it to the 5-6 hole. Nice job of being able to stay. This is where she owns the plate, middle to away. That's why she steps across to be able to take that pitch. And because you see Galen a little bit off the line, just an easy poke to get to the outfield.
So Jocelyn Erickson, their veteran catcher, bringing the whole infield together, throwing their support behind Hammock. You know, there's always nerves in a World Series debut. On a warm night, it's gotten a lot hotter off the Tennessee bats. 4 hits in a row, and the bases are loaded for Boo Gibson coming up.
And I think Florida's going to have to make a decision here. Too many squared up balls, just 9 pitches in this first inning, and Tennessee has been all over all of them.
So already 9 pitches in, some activity in the bullpen and a change of foot. And that will be it for Hammock. She departs. Some encouragement from Ava Brown, who will step in. A deep cleansing breath out of the dugout and into the circle for Ava Brown, as she will come on in relief here in the first inning. Just 9 pitches into the game and already down 1 with the bases loaded.
Tim Walton said it. He said, we would not be here if it wasn't for Ava Brown. She took over the lion's share of the pitching when Rothrock had that injury mid-season. And she was nailed. She did a great job, and she understands the gravity of it. Every situation typically will come in with the bases loaded, pressure situations.
Now, Michelle, she hasn't thrown a pitch in a while, right? Because she's a DP in the lineup, been in the dugout.
Yeah, so she probably warmed up before the game, but there's a good chance, guys, that she has not thrown a pitch in probably 25 minutes or more. So she's going to need to make sure that she's on point here. No room for error with the bases loaded.
So starting Hammock does not work out as Florida had hoped. Can Brown clean it up, or can Boo Gibson bust this thing wide open? Does not have a hit this year with the bases loaded, but the senior has cleared them all a couple of times in her career. Tennessee calls her home runs boo bombs, and boy, would they love one right here, as there is all kinds of frantic activity down the Florida bullpen.
That was Keegan Rothrock hustling down.
I think Olivia Miller had already run out there.
All hands on deck.
Yes.
Season's on the line.
Yeah, and you can't give up a lot of runs when you have a pitcher like Pickens in the circle as your opposing pitcher.
It's win or go home tonight for two teams that are not accustomed to heading home early. And Brown comes in and walks in a run. 2-0 Tennessee.
Well, and right now, the Gators are just searching for outs. They need a ground ball roll. They're playing at double play depth, which is really what they're hoping for, with no outs and the bases still loaded. And now they pull in.
Here's Laura Mueller. How opportunistic is this Tennessee team? Yesterday's runs were scored on a pass ball, a sac fly, and an error. And now one of the runs today, an RBI walk. And that's a blast through the left side. That'll score another. 3-0. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Another first or second pitch swinging too. This has been Tennessee. If they get strikes early, and I think that's why Ava Brown was kind of around the zone coming in, recognizing, hey, I can't give them anything to hit, but after she walks the first batter, she gives one here to Mueller right up at that belt zone. 74 miles an hour off the bat for another knock for the Vols.
Alana Leach couldn't hold up. 7th to the plate this inning. Already 5 hits for the Lady Vols.
Ball, outside.
Rough start for Florida.
This is a Tennessee team after seeing Jordy Ball through 3 games at Super Regionals and then seeing Sam Landry yesterday, who they actually hit somewhat decent, only struck out twice against her. I mean, they have seen some elite arms, so understand what they are attacking.
Ball, 2 slugs. Ball.
Two and two. Staves one off. Sisters Aubrey and Kelsey. Grandma, remember, Wilma Ann played for the Rockford Peaches, the Leach family tree.
Gotta love that history. Diamond sports, yeah.
I mean, that's going back to the OGs. Dottie Henson.
Yeah, that was even before my time.
What? Oh, a little self-deprecating humor. 2-2 pitch. Leach looking for a gap, and she's got one. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. They're going for a 3rd, and they're gonna get it. And Leach will scoot all the way over to 3rd. And what a call by Karen Weekly to put her in the starting lineup today.
Well, they had everybody shifted. Look at where Kendra Falvey is and then where this ball ends up going. It is unbelievable how things are just rolling. So here's Falvey. This ball is going to be hit into that gap. She is way over into that left center gap. And Leach driving that ball into the right center gap, clearing them all. Tennessee is on a roll.
A 3-run double for Alana Leach, who had 9 RBI all season prior to that swing.
And has not been a starter, you guys. She comes into games late because of her arm. Ask Karen, okay, why'd she get in this? And she said, because we needed more pop in the lineup. Savia Morgan normally is in there. She's like, she's very one-dimensional. Short game, we need gap shots. Ask for it, she delivers.
A gap shot indeed. 6-0 Tennessee, and there is still not an out on the board for Florida. The Locos from Knoxville are liking it.
Well, what do you think this does, too, for Carlin Pickens? I mean, who, came out last inning, didn't give up a run, but had 2 walks. I mean, definitely coming off of the loss of Oklahoma. Now she's got 6 runs to pitch with, at least.
Well, and the winner of this game has tomorrow off, with play again on Sunday. So this new format actually does allow the teams that lose on day 1 the opportunity to really try to come through the bracket.
Get your ace back in there. They would play the loser of Texas Tech UCLA on Sunday afternoon on ABC. Also may give Karen Weekly a little leeway in the usage of her pitching staff moving forward. This will be plenty deep to get a run in. And it is 7-zip on the sac fly from Emma Clark. And so Kinsey Fiedler will be the 9th to the plate in the bottom of the 1st for Tennessee.
And you guys, even the 1 out, that sac fly hit over 70 miles an hour. She just missed it, just skied it high in the air. Lots of hard contact from these balls.
Ball, outside.
Fiedler considers a bunt there. They're going to bat around the order and then some. This is, I think, A little bit of disbelief from the Florida folks. Big innings have been a bugaboo all year, though, for Florida in their losses. I mean, that's an 8-run inning against LSU, 7 against Alabama. That was in the first inning of a game. Crooked numbers hurt them in those losses, and they're hurting right now at the World Series with a 7 spot on the board. And 9 to the plate and just 1 out recorded.
And how about 7 hits through the first 9?
What an incredible start for Tennessee. Second AB of the inning for Gabby Leach, who tripled to get this started.
The question is now, what does Rothrock get into this game? Because you don't lose your season without getting your ace into this game. I realize the score now. Keegan down in the bullpen. Because they're hitting Ava Brown.
Yeah, and Ava Brown has the ability to obviously to go upstairs, but she uses a lot of screwballs, some down stuff, changeup to hopefully roll ground balls. Hasn't really been able to do that, hasn't been able to engage the defense.
Ground ball to first. Walsh fires to short for 1. Back to her for a double play. And that will bring the inning to an end. But what an inning it was for the Lady Vols. Everybody gets a swing. Almost everybody got on base and touched home. Tennessee up big on elimination Friday night. So with a big lead for Tennessee, in the first inning, Karen Weekly makes a pitching change of her own, and Carlin Pickens is out. She could re-enter if Florida gets some trouble brewing, but just 1 inning of work for Pickens, and now with that big lead, Sage Margetko will step into the circle.
Big opportunity for Sage. She was really good in regionals. She won that championship game against Ohio State. Does a good job of limiting free passes, just 36 on the year and a little over 93 innings. She's got some vertical separation. She uses a rise, a drop. And obviously an off speed a little bit as well.
What a turn of events here on day 2 of the Women's College World Series, the first of our doubleheader of elimination games. Oregon and Ole Miss coming up next. Mia Williams at 6'7", 8 to face Margetko, who's thrown 10 innings so far in the NCAA tournament.
Ball.
Well, Tennessee was able to get a boost from not seeing the opponent's ace. Can Florida get a similar boost here with Pickens now out?
You should get mad. I mean, honestly, you take out your ace in the second inning. If I'm hitting right now, I'm like, oh, let's put her back in. Like, let's get Pickens back in this game, because the only way that's happening is we put up a lot of runs.
Yeah, and Jess, you talked about it in the open. This is an explosive offense for Florida. 107 home runs on the year. They have an on-base percentage of over 440. And they know how to get on base and score runs.
6 different players have hit a home run this year. At double digits, including Mia Williams.
She's second on the team. Look where she hits in the order.
Her next one would be her 20th. Yeah, definitely a gut check for the Gator hitters now. And the pop-up here for Williams, 1 down. So now Brown will come up. Ava's another one of those double-digit home run hitters, 11 on the season.
half of those have come in the last 2 weeks.
Ball.
She's been one of their hotter hitters, and again, down in the 7 spot. They have a lot of power production, not just from the normal 3-4 hitters.
Gets a hold of one deep down the line, and it'll be a foul ball towards the bullpen. Hey, the Women's College World Series Championship Series will begin on Wednesday. That's the finals, best 2 out of 3, 8 Eastern on ESPN. For more information, go to NCAA.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships. 8 teams are still around, but 2 will go home tonight. The loser of this one and the loser of Ole Miss and Oregon. Winners play tomorrow in a doubleheader.
Ball.
In the double elimination format, we get down to 2 teams on Monday, and then the 20th championship series, dating back to 2005, Michigan over UCLA. So the challenge now, Tennessee, stay focused. For Florida, there's no seven-run home runs. Let's just pick away at it. And as Brown flies out to Gabby Leach, 2 down.
Yeah, 100% Beth. For Florida, they're just hunting bases right now. They just have to get on base because, as you mentioned, you're not going to swing and make up that 7 spot with one of the swings. So Tennessee, on the flip side, they are just hunting outs. You can give up bases, but you just are all about collecting outs at this point.
Ball.
Kelly Cahalan, the junior transfer from Alabama. In for a strike, 1-1. Marjetko picked up some strong wins late in the year. Beat Ole Miss, beat Texas A&M, picked up a win against Ohio State in the regional. Former Prep High School Player of the Year out of Illinois.
Ball.
Cahalan. How about 3 flyouts for Marjetko right into the game, and a 1-2-3 start for her.
It's been a wild swing of emotion in the last 24 hours for Tennessee pitcher Carlin Pickens, smiling now in the dugout that her work may be done for tonight with their team getting a big 7-0 lead over Florida. But last night it was anything but a smile. She pitched what Karen Weekly called one of the team's most complete games of the season, but it came down to one pitch that changed the outcome of that game against Oklahoma. With Ella Parker up, this one swing goes out. It is a walk-off 3-1 win, and Carlin Pickens standing alone in that circle after the game was an image that's hard to get out of your mind. The anxiety on her face and the disappointment. Karen Weekly said, I feel so bad for her because I knew she was going to own it. But what I told her is 100 times a game, you dare greatly. 99 out of 100, you are the one out there winning, and we wouldn't be here without you. And I talked to Carlin before the game as she walked in to the field tonight, and she said, there's no such thing as failure, just an opportunity to learn. And I have learned from what happened last night.
It's amazing. I mean, to be in the circle can be a very lonely place at times, but Pickens, she owns it, she moves on, and she therefore changes the ability for the next result. And that's some maturity right there for the junior.
Eating some pickles there to stay hydrated, keep the salt intake up.
I think the Bruins loosened that pickle jar last night.
Anybody see that one?
You know, a lot of folks I'm sure were screaming at their televisions yesterday. Walker and pitch to Nellie McEnroe Marinas. And, you know, the Monday morning quarterbacks certainly have talked nothing but that. I love the fact, though, as a fan of the game, you know, I think too often we miss out on those Womano matchups, like my best against your best. And I kind of respect that from both Karen and Carlin. Every day of the week, I'm going to go with my best against your best, and we're gonna decide it all right there. I don't think you could tell Carlin Pickens not to attack a hitter with the game on the line.
Beth, I loved it. I loved it. And I know everyone's like, why pitch to her there?
Ella Dodge. Little fly ball. 2 down.
Tennessee, the reason why I got 7 runs on the board in the first inning is they knew how to barrel up the ball. Did a good job getting pitches over the plate. You looked at all 9 batters in this lineup, able to barrel the ball even when it came to sacrifice flies. 7 runs on 7 hits, 2 extra base hits, but a lot of barrel on ball early for the Vols.
There's our story so far. The 7 runs in the first inning. The most by any team here in OKC in 14 years.
And now they can all see it while they're on the field.
It's floating over the field. Ironically enough, that was a Florida team that put up all those runs against Alabama. Tennessee also had an 11-run inning against Miami of Ohio in the regionals. So when they get it going, they really get it going. If I'm Tennessee, I'm also thinking step on the gas, because a 7-run lead does not get a run rule win.
Yeah.
They are absolutely thinking we only want to play 5 tonight.
Well, and their story has been scoring early, and then their bats do go silent. And this needs to be something they continue, even for their own psyche, to be able to understand, hey, not just first time through the order, ladies, but we got to keep adjusting, keep playing like it's 0-0.
And stay aggressive, right? We saw that. They learned from some of those, you know, holding a runner at third versus scoring.
Sophia Nugent. She's thinking run rule. Solo home run. And an 8-0 lead.
Another barrel shot. Sophia Nugent, too. I mean, this is what we've seen, is finding the pitch, and she worked back into this count. Looked like she was going to walk, but she was looking for a pitch that she could drive. She leads the team in home runs. This is her 18th, but this is the pitch she was looking for. See how far off the plate she is? She loves being able to get her hands in that barrel to something middle in, and when she does, that's exactly what happens.
Well, and Jess, I'm surprised they didn't come back with a changeup. At 3-0, they threw a changeup. She wanted no part of it. It was ball 1. At 3-1, they threw her another changeup. She looked at it. 3-2, they throw her hard. She hits it out for number 19 of the year.
Cash is flying in the dugout.
Dollar bills. 7 home runs in her last 10 hits. Wow. Play money, by the way. If anyone's wondering.
Might have their own faces on it.
There's another deep drive. How about that from Boo Gibson, back to back? Second time we've seen that here in OKC. Texas did it yesterday against Florida. And now Tennessee tonight.
Yes.
Boo Gibson taking a pitch on the outer half and just going with it. And this is a shot that she needed. She'd been quiet and just able to barrel this up, Jess, and take it the opposite way.
This is my favorite. We're talking barrels this whole game. A lot of pulled barrels. This one is beautiful. Boo Gibson needed this. Talk to us about wanting to be a leader, wanting to be in those moments. No one on this team wanted the regular season to be over with, start over at 0. Big moment for a leader in this Vols team.
What you got for us, Holly?
Well, you know, her given name is McKenna Gibson, but we all call her Boo, and everyone calls her Boo, I think even her family. And when I asked her why, she said, well, when I was a little girl, I was a spitting image of Boo from Monsters, Inc., so I've got to show you the spitting image. She is correct. This is the most adorable picture. McKenna sent this to me, and she goes by Boo. It's become who she is, the Boo Bomb. You hear the fans in the stands booing before she gets up, and it's just such a cute moment for her and her identity. And she's like, yeah, I agree. I look just exactly like her.
So a Boo Bomb for Gibson. More cash. They're going to have to go to the ATM if they keep hitting like this. And a 9-0 lead on 9 hits. A couple of home runs. The team is hit for the cycle. They've got singles, a double, and a triple as well. And Caitlin Oxley will be the 3rd pitcher in the first 2 innings for Florida. Second appearance here. She was in briefly yesterday.
Ball.
Laura Mercer, RBI single in that 7-run first. Changeup is in for a strike.
Yeah, and that's the pitch that's going to be key for the freshman Oxley. She's had a good freshman campaign. She throws that changeup about 50 miles an hour, and she'll throw it about 21% of the time. The rest of her pitches are more upspin, screwball, rise ball. But that changeup sets up everything, and if she can continue to throw that effectively and often to try to keep this Tennessee team from barreling up the ball.
Pop up out into shallow center, and that will end the inning. But the result of a Boo Bomb is a Boo Ball for the folks. Nice Dolly Parton t-shirt, by the way, on Rocky Top, going back to back.
Hey, what a moment for these Lady Vols. A lot of talk always about Carlin Pickens and their pitching staff, but it's been all bats. Sophia Nugent, their 17th home run, and Boo Gibson back to back for the vets on this team getting it done.
The mayhem continues at the Women's College World Series. On deck, coming up next on ESPN, it's the 16-seed Oregon. They lost on a walk-off home run last night against Ole Miss, shut out by Nigeri Kennedy last night. So for those 2 programs, it's win or go home later on.
Ball.
This is the largest deficit that Florida has faced since they were here last year, and a 10-0 loss to Texas at the World Series. And just trying to find anything to give them a spark, a ray of hope. Try and swing the momentum after a 7-run first,
Ball down.
and then back-to-back home runs in the second for the Lady Vols.
Well, the first inning, it kind of felt like it was there. They had the offense first. Kendra Falby gets on base. Anytime that happens, you kind of feel like, all right, she's going to come around to score. They left him stranded, 2 walks in that first inning. They're still first time through the order, you guys. Tennessee is now going to come 3rd time through the order this next inning.
Holtorf in the 9 spot, then the top coming back around. Pickens may not need to come back tonight through just the first inning this evening. Holtorf puts a shot in it. Back to the track is Leach, and Alana's got it. Speaking of the Leaches, what you got, Holly?
Well, it's not that usual to have both of your daughters playing in the same game, and it's even more unusual to have both daughters hit a triple in the same game at the World Series. What is going through your mind when both of your girls get up and have such great at-bats tonight?
No, it's exciting for us, and we just want to make sure that they're productive and they have a good at-bat and follow the game plan, and it looks like that's what they're doing tonight.
Dad, you're so calm. It cannot be this calm on the inside because you're standing clear up here at the top, not sitting down.
I'm not sure I was this calm with Aubrey and Kelsey, but it kind of matured a little bit with the twins. But it's been a great experience at Tennessee.
Four daughters have played at Tennessee. What is that like for your family?
It's great having them all in one place, go through the same program, and Tennessee's the absolute gold standard when it comes to women's sports. So we're very fortunate and very lucky.
Okay, Mom, you've got to show off your shirt. Show me the double. We've got 55, we've got 10, and Alana getting the start tonight. Coach said she brings some pop to the batter's box. What did you think of her?
No, it was good. She had a game plan, and she was excited when she got her opportunity and took advantage of it. So we were happy for her.
All right, softball runs in this family, and it runs right through Knoxville. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ollie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, look at a Leach catch on the front end of the interview and a Leach catch on the back end of the interview. 2 down. And there they all are.
It's awesome.
See, Aubrey is playing pro ball, right, this summer?
Yep, she's
in the AUSL?
Yep, Gabby as well. Aubrey's with the Blaze. AUSL. She helps on the staff also. Director of Player Development, so she's been in the dugout.
AUSL is partnering with MLB, so really putting a charge in pro softball. We'll have a lot of the games for you this summer on the ESPN networks.
Debuts next Saturday.
I think Corby Otis got a golden ticket too, right?
Yeah.
From Florida, so quite a few players here at the Women's College World Series going to be playing in the league.
There's Taylor Shoemaker, the freshman of the year nationally. One-two pitch from Marjetko.
The thing I like about what Marjetko brings to the circle is that she's consistent. She goes right at the hitters. She limits those free passes. I've coined her the Jet, which I thought was her nickname. And when I said that to Coach, she's like, "Who are you talking about? I'm on stage. Don't you call her the Jet?"
A little turbo on that pitch right there. And the strikeout of Shoemaker and a 1-2-3 inning.
This is not the start that you wanted. Your pitchers have been struggling, but how are you talking to your team right now?
Yeah, just the main thing is just continue to fight. Like, just get out there and give me all you've got. You know, at the end of the day, we still haven't strung anything together here in 2 games. We got to get runners on base, be able to manufacture a little bit. You know, Caitlin Oxley came in and got out of that last inning, but we just got to do a little bit better job stringing things together.
Your hitters have confidence and are fantastic all season long. How do you have confidence in them that they can start doing that?
Yeah, you know, this stage is a little bit different. You know, when you're down, we've been down. You know, you look at it now, all of our at-bats, with the exception of 2 at-bats, we've been down in the score, and it does change, you know, the way the intent goes. So I think at the end of the day, it's just live in the moment, you know, really do a good job 1 pitch at a time. I can't worry about the scoreboard. It's all about just being able to compete in our at-bats, compete in the circle, compete on defense.
Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Go Gators.
All right, thank you, Holly. Thanks, Coach. Well, they've not been shut out in back-to-back games since 2022. That was at the World Series against Oklahoma State and UCLA. This is their 13th trip here. They have only gone 2 in barbecue once. So this is some uncharted territory for them. Looking for their first run of this World Series. They came in here as one of the best scoring teams in the field.
Well, I like what Tim said, too, because when you do go down runs and your mindset changes as a hitter, now you're more on the attack mode. You can't be as patient. You feel like you got to have a swing that's a 9-run swing, which is impossible.
Well, to your point, Jess, you get in that position where you start to chase pitches out of the zone. So as a pitcher, you know that when you have an offense that has to put runs up on the board and you know they're going to be swinging, that's when you try to expand that strike zone. And so for Oxley now, her key is just try to keep the score where it's at, so her offense can try to get them back into it.
7-8-9 coming up for the Lady Vols. Just saw Holly Rowe down on the field. I'm Beth Mowens, along with Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith. Day 2 at the Women's College World Series, building towards the championship series next week. Got a doubleheader tomorrow and again on Sunday to get you through the weekend. National semifinals on Monday.
Ball, inside.
Tomorrow's winners bracket matchups, whoo boy. Texas Tech, UCLA, and Texas, Oklahoma. Winner of this one would meet the UCLA Tech loser on Sunday.
Well, that's where it gets interesting because those losers of the winners' games cross over to the opposite bracket.
Yes.
Which is what makes this unique from the Men's College World Series. And that they stay in their own bracket. You won't see them meet up until the championship. And I like it because it guarantees that the two best teams meet in the Champ Series.
Leach couldn't hold up there, and a strikeout for Oxley, 1 down. That's the first for Florida pitching tonight. Hey, how about this week's Sunday night baseball matchup? Oh boy. A rivalry renewed. World Series rematch, Yankees and Dodgers. Sunday night baseball on ESPN, Deportes, and radio. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern with baseball tonight. And there's another hot shot off a bat. That's Emma Clark. Down the line for a single.
Be grateful that Emma Clark saved you from the World Series conversation that was going to come off that Yanks and Dodgers.
Go back there. You
relive it in your Dodger blue, but Emma Clark.
We don't live in the past in the Bronx. We look forward.
Oh, you kind of have to. But Emma Clark, nice job barreling up, and this is what we've seen. She had a sac fly back in the first to score a run.
Yeah, that was a screwball that she just mashed. And you know what? That means everybody in the lineup now for Tennessee has recorded a hit.
Ball.
7 of the 9 have scored. 7 of the 9 have driven in a run, including back-to-back home runs for Sophia Nugent and Boo Gibson tonight in the second inning. In for a strike, 2-2.
Oxley doing a good job. You see these lefties not afraid up and in.
Yeah, not afraid to come up and in.
It's a hard spot because these Tennessee lefties aren't afraid to crowd either. Fielder's going to back off a little bit more now, but she was up on the plate.
Ground ball to second. Williams knocks it down, but cannot make a play, and Clark goes over to second base. Holly?
Well, Emma Clark's journey to the College World Series started out somewhere pretty special at the Little League College World Series, and we were there to broadcast her games when she was 11 years old in Oregon. She was playing for the Rowan team out of Salisbury, North Carolina. She did a terrific job. They lost in the championship game, but what a full circle moment. Me, you, and Amanda Michelle got to cover her as an 11-year-old, and here she is playing in front of our very eyes on the World Series stage.
It's always so awesome when you see those athletes at that 11, 12-year-old age, and then here they show up at the World Series 6, 7 years later. There's been quite a few of them. Jackie Traina for Alabama. I mean, you could go up and down a list of really successful.
12 national champs at Alabama.
There's 4 here at the World Series that played the Little League World Series. It gets more and more. They're actually playing professional games too. AUSL plays at the Little League World Series, which is so cool to kind of full circle.
Well, it just shows the opportunity for those young ladies, right? Like, here's the Women's College World Series, but then here's the professional level. These things you can strive for throughout the sport.
This is already the 3rd at-bat in 3 innings for Gabby Leach. Nasty little change-up.
That thing, too, just floated. Your eyes get big when you see something in that zone. Big swing, but that was a pretty pitch.
Ball.
She comes right back with it on the outer half.
and gets the swing and miss. 2 down. The other thing too, right, for Florida, okay, yeah, you still got to hope that you can come back and win here, but you are also building towards next season and perhaps your next appearance in the World Series. For Caitlin Oxley, just a freshman, and I'm sure the anticipation is, hey, we're going every year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, has the opportunity to get that experience.
Ground ball to short, and it's dropped at first base by Walsh, and a run will score. A couple of miscues this inning from the right side of the Florida infield.
So the throw over from the Holtorf, this is a catchable ball, just goes off of the glove of Reagan Welsh, who has been so good at first base. And the Rays, you can see Clark coming home, a little bit of a bump with the blue. Both of them being like, "You're okay?" "Yeah, we're okay."
John Baca behind the plate.
Yeah.
That is now the 3rd error of the game on the Florida defense.
It's all connected. I mean, we're seeing expanding the zone in a way that Florida hitters normally don't do. Drop balls at first. Errors. This is a defense that is so good.
Well, for some reason, they made that an E6 and not an E3, but the result stays the same. 10-0 now, Tennessee.
To center, that's hit well by Clemens. It's gone! It's the day of the walk-off!
Kevin Brown on the call of the nightcap. It was party time for the Bruins. Those two teams don't play tonight, they play tomorrow. Ole Miss does play tonight. An elimination game against Oregon, coming off of their shutout loss to Texas Tech. So the Bruins will have Tech and Oklahoma will have Texas. As we welcome you back here to Oklahoma City, a 10-0 lead for Tennessee. So Florida has just 6 outs now to work with to avoid a second consecutive 10-0 run rule loss at the World Series. It happened last year as well. And Tennessee is going to argue that Erickson leaned into this. Yeah. Sophia Nugent thinks she definitely did. So a challenge looks like it's coming from Tennessee. Nugent, the catcher, there behind.
She leads the team in hit by pitches. One of the tops in the SEC, actually. 15 hit by pitches. Not afraid to roll or lean into them.
Tennessee is challenging the call of a hit batter. This play is under review.
You're okay if you're standing in the batter's box and it comes in and hits you, but you cannot lean into it or you cannot be standing over the plate.
I think that's a fair call. I think it's a hit by batter. She looks like she's starting to lean.
Christy Cornwell, our rules analyst. Christy?
So the critical thing here that we're going to be looking at in video review is the location of the ball. If the ball is entirely in the batter's box, the batter has to get out of the way. And if not, then she could be awarded first base depending on what they decide here.
What would you call it, Christy? What would you say?
As soon as I can see that overhead look again, I'll give you an opinion. There we go.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. Looks to me like she is leaning out in the river, which is that space in between the plate and the batter's box. It looks like the ball is not entirely in the batter's box, so I would keep her in the box.
Yeah, I think that we need that in the game to allow the pitchers to be able to throw on the inner half of the plate.
I mean, we've been talking for years that they need to change it in the rule book where you have to make an attempt to get out of the way, even if you are in the river like that.
And there you definitely see her recognize that the ball's coming at her.
Well, and look at how much her hands are over the river and actually over the plate.
Over the plate, yeah.
You know, and that's where the pitcher should be able to work, right? That's as a pitcher, that's where I want to be able to throw the ball.
Yeah, we were just talking about Caitlin Oxley, how great she does coming into lefties up and in. That's such an important zone to be able to attack. Gets eliminated when you're hanging over the plate, plus you're so protected, so why not? I mean, if you're getting the calls, not fair for the pitchers.
I like this, that Sage is going to say, hey, let me roll my arm around a little bit. This is taking a little bit longer than most reviews do. Got to stay warm.
Yeah, and if you're Florida, I know you're looking for a spark. Let's get some base runners, let's get going. But by the same token, at 10-0, I want to swing because they may be my last of the year, right?
100%.
After further review, the call on the field is upheld. The batter is awarded first base. This is the first challenge for Tennessee.
The only thing I could think of is at the very end, she looked like she was making an attempt to move. But I'm with Christy in that she's out of the box. In that zone, you see where her hands and her elbow are. But it's that last move there at the end that I'm guessing is what they're looking at as an attempt to get out of the way.
Again, I think this is a rule that needs to be addressed and looked at. Better language.
Yeah.
I talk about this all the time. Sandy Koufax said it best. Show me the guy that can't throw on the inner half, and I'll show you a loser. And that's it. That's pitching. Pitching is the art in stealing fear. Pitching is the art of being able to throw pitches on the inner half of the plate. And if that's taken away from you, it's tough to win.
There's Reagan Walsh, who had the error just a few moments ago. They need 3 runs at least in the next couple of innings to avoid the run rule. So that's the focus right now for Florida. The emphasis for Tennessee is let's not let this get away from us and extend the game.
Ball. Hey, there she go.
We talked about it at the top of the program. Struggle. They just had 2 hits yesterday. They don't have any hits yet today for a Florida offense that is among the best during the regular season and just unable to find their groove yet here in Oklahoma.
You got to feel good to hit good. I mean, that's something that just goes back to every offensive mindset. And for right now, Florida needs that feel-good moment.
Ball.
And now the count goes full to Walsh. Fouls that one back. These two SEC rivals head-to-head, the 90th meeting, but just the 3rd here at the World Series. Tennessee won in 2013. Ellen Renfro, a 4-hitter. And then Florida won in 2015 en route to the national championship. Lauren Hager, a 1-hitter and a home run. Shout out to the pitchers who rake, like Michelle Smith and Danielle Laurie.
Got a couple of them here.
Yeah. There's a shot down the line. Gone if it's fair. Foul ball.
Just missed that.
78 miles an hour. That was smoked. Reagan Walsh having a bat right now.
She's fouled off a lot of pitches trying to just stay in this Give herself an opportunity to try and bash number 15 out of the yard.
Going to see an off speed or something away.
Yeah.
Gets a hold of another one. Deep center field. Back and gone. 2-run shot for the Gators.
You guys, you never see this. Usually someone pulls the ball down the line the way that Reagan Walsh did, foul, and the next pitch they strike out. The next pitch, it's a swing and miss. It's a weak ground ball. Rarely are they able to now take a pitch now, a different pitch middle away, and drive it out to center field. Reagan Walsh having an idea of what they were going to go with.
That looks like an elevated drop ball.
Drop ball up in the zone. Mashes it. I thought Fiedler had a chance to even grab this one.
Same. But I'm surprised you called it, Jess. I thought they would go back to a changeup, something, because you know Walsh, we talked about it earlier. We showed Ella Dodge, the second baseman, up the middle. But they challenge her something hard again. A missed pitch by Sage. That's an elevated drop ball that needs to be lower, but full count. It's tough. Trying not to walk her.
11 innings into this World Series, and finally Florida gets some runs up and looking for more, and they go back to back. Corby, Otis, and the Gators are buying more outs. For the time being, they knock off the run rule, and it's 10-3.
Beth, what did you say earlier? When you know you're picking up your bat for maybe, is this the last time? Is this my last game? These are two seniors. They want to fight. They want to give their team a reason to ignite. Tim Walton talked about it. This is what we are, but we haven't found it here in Oklahoma City. But the senior class have Reagan Walsh and Corby Otis back-to-backs. Barely clearing, but it's enough. 3 runs on the board for the Gators.
And for Otis, that's her 6th home run of the year.
Oh, that momentum can be a dangerous thing when it swings. 3 unanswered for Florida. Holly Rowe.
Well, Corby Otis won the award here at the Women's College World Series, the Elite 90 Award, which is the highest GPA of anyone playing here on the field. 4.0 in cardiothoracic surgery emphasis. She's applying to medical school, and I would just like to speak to every medical school admissions officer in America right now. This is the most incredible young woman we've ever met, and she is working on her personal statement. I hope she writes in there something about how she continues to fight at the Women's College World Series regardless of the score in her personal statement applying for medical school. She is truly one of the most unique athletes we have ever covered.
Fabulous young woman. And she is swinging the momentum back towards Florida. Trailing 10-0. And they are chipping away, and a home run ball up to the Walshes. Reagan and then Corby going yard. And if nothing else, they have forced Carlin Pickens out of the dugout and into the bullpen. And Aaron Newer comes on as the new pitcher, true freshman from Western New York, East Aurora. And will the Lady Vols have to go back to their ace if they get into deeper trouble? Nobody out here in the top of the 4th. First postseason appearance for the rookie in the circle.
The reason Mia Williams was thinking about bunting, somebody talked about this earlier, Ella Dodge has played almost at second base. So on a bunt, normally second base has to cover. She'd have to come all the way over.
Ball.
Yeah, it looks like Williams is actually closer to first than Dodge is, standing in the batter's box, even from the right side.
Yeah, but Boo Gibson has to stay back is what the coverage would be.
It's a cross for a strike, 2-1. Newer, a top 10 recruit, debuted with a no-hitter for Tennessee back in February. Williams, panel stays down on it, 1 out. We got another home run ball. I think this is going to the Otises. Didn't have a hit the first 3 innings. They got a couple. Now in the 4th. And do we have to go back and mark that disputed hit by pitch? Right now, that's the difference between a run rule and not. Because that got Florida a base runner to start it.
Ball.
And that's brutal, just so you know. I played here this time of year, this type of sun, right field. Gabby Leach is trying to literally cover the sun with her glove, her glasses, her visor. Anything hit over there is going to be really, really tough to see right now.
Ball.
Three and 1 to Brown. Pop up left side. Handles there, 2 down.
Job by the freshman to record a couple of outs. More pitch to contact, has a good rise and drop that she uses, also will mix speeds.
Tim Walton maybe going to a pinch hitter here. And looks like Brooke Bernard is going to come up. So pinch hitter here with 2 outs in the 8th spot, the senior from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. A couple of other seniors have had big swings this inning. Let's see if she can contribute.
Ball.
If you follow the Florida Gators, you know Brooke plays an integral role in their success. She is the wedgie woman. And after every home run, that's her job right there.
109 of those wedgies
Lift and
this
release. How many?
109 wedgies.
109 wedgies. And that's just this season.
Well, no, 108 because she hit a home run this year, so someone had to give her
a self wedgie. No, I think Corby Otis told us that she.
It was her.
Yep, it's a tradition at Florida.
So they were roommates, and they talk about it.
She's been interviewing younger players for the job next year when she leaves.
It's a big time job. It's been going back to the Francesca Anea days.
Long. There have been practices.
It's a whole training. Kettlebells. I mean, you have good forearm strength.
Upright row, upright row.
Oh, I know the Gator fans would love to see Brooke get aboard here. A 3-2 count.
Francesca Anea hiding behind the fence there. Great home run hitter for the Gators.
Kept a secret for about a decade.
Aaron Newer gets the strikeout side, retired, but Florida does some damage. Looking to extend this one.
We talked about their offense showing up, but how about the seniors? What looked to be pretty blank here in Oklahoma City. Starts with Reagan Walsh and then Corby Otis back to back. That keeps them out of a run rule to keep this game going.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City. Tennessee has a 10-3 lead over the Florida Gators, and Coach Karen Weekly, this is an interesting score right now. You pulled Carlin Pickens earlier. What will have to happen for you to bring her back in?
Oh, they'd have to put a few more on the board and probably get within 4 or 5. I mean, we want to close this thing out for sure, but as we've learned here, games are never over till they're over.
Your motto all season has been keep throwing punches. You've had the boxing gloves. They're in the dugout right now. How impressed were you with your group? They came out throwing punches early in this game and put up those unprecedented 7 runs on the board.
Very impressed, but I knew last night, I mean, that thing stung, but they were ready to come back fighting, and I am super proud of them. I can't tell you how proud I am of them. It's just their emotional space today. They were ready to go. Got to breakfast, and it was all smiles and laughing, and they've been ready to play all day.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Let's take you back to the second inning. Sophia Nugent, a towering drive.
She scored on a single in the first inning, that home run in the second. Everyone's been swinging the bat. She leads us off here, but look at the offensive numbers. All 9 batters reached base, 10 hits. You guys, we're in the 4th. 10 hits, 10 runs, breaking records, tying records. That's why a lot of smiles from these balls, but they can't be done yet. They got to keep putting runs on the board. Nugent been a huge catalyst for their offense all season long. A little catcher. How about Oklahoma transfer catcher talk right now? Jocelyn Erickson and Sophia Nugent, both transfers from Oklahoma.
So it's Nugent, Gibson, and Mueller to face Caitlin Oxley. If Tennessee can put a run up this inning, then Florida would be down to a final 3 outs in the top half of the 5th to fight off the mercy rule. Oxley came on right after the Nugent and Gibson home runs, has a couple of strikeouts.
Ball, offside.
Fights off the rise ball. Waited on the changeup, down the line, and foul.
Did a good job of staying back on that changeup. 52-mile-an-hour pitch from Oxley.
Swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout for Oxley, 1 down.
Well, Boo Gibson back in the 2nd right after Nugent. Absolutely demolished. 78 exit velocity off the bat, plus the 22-degree launch angle. You add that up, that's 100% gonna go out of the park. 240 feet, clearing that wall. A good job going center field.
200 down the lines, 220 the fences in college softball.
Boo Gibson she's so good when she stays middle of the field, and this is hard to do as a hitter, but watch her swing. Her ability to be able to hit that off of her back leg. When she's hitting off her front leg, that's when you see the miss hits. She's so strong when she can let the ball travel that deep.
Good snag by Cahalan at 3rd, 2 down.
Oxley just doing a great job of really using that effective velocity, that changeup that she throws 50 to 54 miles an hour, and then sneaks in that rise ball upstairs, gets the miss hits, the jam jobs.
Ball.
Mueller singled to drive in a run in that big 7-run first inning. Added 3 more for a 10-0 lead, and then Florida fighting back to put 3 up in the top half of this inning. And Caitlin Oxley is looking to go 1, 2, 3, and then race to the dugout to watch the top of the order come back up for Florida. That's inside the bag. Hit the umpire, and the ricochet. Mueller will head to second. And a 2-out double.
Good job by Mueller to get around this changeup. 52-mile-an-hour pitch, and she just gets that barrel through. You can see it goes off the bag and off the heel of the umpire. Ricochets toward the line, or excuse me, the wall.
That is her 4th hit now in 2 games for Tennessee. And it's Alana Leach.
Ball.
Big at-bat here, trying to get that run in from second base to bring the run rule back into effect. And to limit Florida's chances. We've seen it happen before, right? You got to stick around to play the 6th and the 7th. That could cost you an hour. That could cost your pitcher 50 pitches.
Could cost you Pickens.
Could cost you Pickens.
Pickens comes back in this game. It's a win for Florida, but it's also, even if Tennessee moves on, it's a big loss. Happened to get her hot again.
She was out in the bullpen earlier, now in the dugout. Leach, a flare, and Otis, did she catch it barehanded? No, she did not. And a run scores for Tennessee. How about the day for the Leaches?
Yeah, she's got 4 RBIs now. This one just gets under and in. Corby Otis trying to slide and get her glove. Look how close she is to catching this. Bounces right before and then off the heel. Allows Laura Mueller to come in easily and score.
9 RBI all season prior to tonight, and now 4 of them for Leach. And it's back to an 8-run lead.
Not a bad day at the World Series.
11 hits, that matches the most they've ever had in a World Series game.
She rarely starts. And then she's starting here in Oklahoma City, game 2, on a hunch from Karen Weekly. She comes in as a defense replacement late in games, rarely for her bat. Weekly saying, I want more pop. 4 RBIs for Alana Leach.
Emma Clark with the swing and miss. I mean, no pressure, but when the folks show up with, you know, with jerseys looking like that, you better bring it, right? You better give them something to cheer for. That's right. When the folks go all in.
I love that Dad knows, too. I mean, the best seat in the house is never sitting. I'll tell you that. You want to be able to pace. You want to be able to walk. Hard to sit down. 4 daughters. Credit to the Leach family, man. 4 daughters in college, let alone
in scholarships. You know what that means? That means a boat for the folks. With all the money they saved. Little fishing in Tennessee.
A boat. Yeah, that's funny.
Emma Clark lifts that one out towards Otis, and she'll make the catch on the run. But it is an 8-run Tennessee lead, which means in the top of the 5th, Florida needs to score 1 or it is over on Elimination Friday night. Big night so far for Boo Gibson and the Lady Vols, an 11-3 lead, trying to end it early and advance. Still to come tonight, another elimination game, Ole Miss and Oregon, and then our doubleheader tomorrow gets underway at 3 Eastern. Winners bracket on ABC, Oklahoma, Texas, And then the nightcap on ESPN, Texas Tech and UCLA. The winner of this one will play Sunday afternoon against the loser of Tech UCLA. And that would be an elimination game. Aaron Newer and the Lady Vols need 3 outs. Florida needs at least 1 run, or the Gators season will come to a close. Here's one of those seniors, Riley Holtorf, and then the top of the order. Kendra Falby, another one of the longtime Gators for 4 years. She and Reagan Walsh. They've added a couple of other seniors as well through the portal, like Corby Otis. And a strikeout for Newer, 1 down. Here comes Falby. A couple of World Series appearances. An SEC championship. Falby, Walsh, Otis, with All-American honors the last couple of years.
Ball.
Kendra's been one of their great leadoff hitters in Gainesville.
Ball. Outside.
I remember seeing Falby as a freshman show up with those long legs, ability to run. Just so much fun to watch.
Blazing speed. Remember, she had an inside the park home run here at the World Series last year.
Sure did. All-American this year. How about a Gold Glove?
Gold Glove, 3 Rob jobs, I believe she's been credited with.
Yeah, one of the best center fielders we've ever seen.
Oh, those are top 2 all time. Panel, 2 down. And it will come down to the freshman, Taylor Shoemaker, to try and extend it. Tied for their single-season home run and runs batted in records.
Well, if we could circle anyone in the lineup, season on the line. I know we talked about the senior class, but without a doubt, she is their best hitter. Just a freshman. She has been carrying them. When you think about the home runs, the RBIs, the big at-bats, young career.
NFCA Freshman of the Year, just gaudy accolades.
Ground ball to third. This could do it for Tennessee, and not with Shoemaker's speed. The Gators still in it.
Just so much respect, by the way. We're talking about her power numbers panel playing her so deep. You forget she's on the left side. Hit like that's a base hit all day long, using her speed.
Jocelyn Erickson, a walk and a hit by pitch.
Ball.
Made a big adjustment pregame, just eliminated that stride. Big stride she had in yesterday's loss. Now just picking up the heel and down.
Boy, she gets right over that plate. She's trying to push Newer off the dish outside with the pitches. Ground ball to third. They're going to have to hustle. And Panel makes the play. And the Lady Vols of Tennessee stay alive, and they knock out the Florida Gators 11-3.
And what a performance by the Lady Vols. You know, we talk Tennessee softball all season long on what makes them great. Big part of that we talk about is Carlin Pickens. The offense has not showed up consistently throughout the year, but they have here in Oklahoma City, even in their loss yesterday. But they started punching from the get-go. The triple from Gabby Leach and kept it going throughout the game.
An incredible career for many of the seniors for Florida. Kendra Falby, Corby Otis, Reagan Walsh.
So there's a look at the bracket now, updated with Tennessee ready to go Sunday afternoon, 3 Eastern on ABC.
At this time, congratulations to the Florida Gators. An outstanding season.
And the Capital One rewarding performance, well, pretty much everybody at Tennessee.
And right from the get-go, talking about Gabby Leach, you want to barrel them up. How about 7 runs on 7 hits? That's just the first inning. They finish off with 12 hits and 11 runs just through the 5 innings. 4 innings of hitting, and it was everyone in the lineup.
Oh, and it was a cycle for the offense. A home run, a triple, double, and a single. Doing it multiple ways. Just a hit fest today for the Lady Vols.
Huge bounce back after they got walked off yesterday. They come back to win today. And the Gators are out in 2 at the Women's College World Series. And a big day for the Leach family. Holly Rowe?
Nothing better than getting a win at the Women's College World Series, except for doing it with your sister. What is it like when you're both getting up to the plate tonight and both having triples, both contributing this way?
It's awesome. It's just a true feeling. I love playing with her. She's always great to play with. We love to push each other, and just going out there and playing freely, knowing we all have each other's backs.
Yes, and just seeing each other succeed, it's just great. We've been doing it all our life, so just having that joy of playing together and getting to do it at this level.
You know, the team motto all year has been keep punching, punch to kill, and this was a great response after that really devastating game last night. What did you talk about to come out with this response?
Just keeping our heads up and just keeping a positive, trusting our process, and just knowing that we can come out the next day forgetting about what happened and just playing freely and just trusting the process.
Yeah, I think our hitting was there yesterday, and it didn't change. So I think going into this game, I love that we threw punches and we were ready to punch to kill this game. So just sticking to our process. We've been the same hitting team. Just keep doing our thing. So.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies, and sister hug. Just go for it. Love it.
Thank you so much.
The Leaches with their dad looking on from up on the concourse. There's Mom. Looks like Mom moved down to the front row. And an 11-3 win. A World Series record 12 hits for the Lady Vols. And they get the big run rule win. They are still in it when they win it. Still to come, Ole Miss and Oregon. One will go home and one will advance.